All right, guys, here we go. We're going to take a look at the video that we took last night. This is Tuesday night, September 5th. We've got a few starts. We've got some tacking practice. We've got some mark roundings as well. This is one of the first starts that we have, and we're just going to let this one roll. I think the thing here is kind of down speed stuff. Really want to make sure that the boat's going fast the whole time. Look at that sag down the line. Here comes the start. 3, 2, 1. Here's your horn. And Jack with a really good start here at the boat end of the line. Sammy and Ben right here at the boat end of the line as well.
10 seconds late.
It's a few seconds late there, though, and I think I talked to them a little bit about that as well. But that's okay. You're at the favorite end of the line. Maybe just cut down that bit of lateness there if you can help it. But look at this. Look at the big gaggle of boats here in the middle of the line. That's the one that I want to focus in on, right? I want to make sure that if you recognize that you're in that gaggle of boats that's behind, bail out. Tack, come back across the back of the fleet, get out in clean air, and make this work out for you. This is the next start we're going to look at. This is about a minute to go until the start. Here's one thing that I don't like. I really don't like it when we jive on the starting line, especially when there's no reason to. Here comes Mia jiving on the starting line. Look at her sailing way far away from the line, right? There's no boats around you. Tack on the line, stay on the line, come back against the grain on the line. The other thing that I'm not a big fan of is all the boats that are barging back here. Let's get on the line. Let's get out of that habit of just kind of floating down the line on starboard tack and ending up where we end up. Here's 30 seconds to go. I got a couple boats coming back on port. Here comes 2. They're going to tack into a hole there. Nice big gap there. They're fighting for that pin end start. Here's 20 seconds to go on the start. Ben is over. You can see that he's over. You can see that he's over. And he's on the line. Set up on the line with a big gap below him. No reason to set up that close to the line. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and over.
5!
Yeah, because you're setting up right on the line. These guys that are setting up a little bit back of the line, they're the ones that are getting better starts. They're moving through the start. They're moving the entire time. They have an opportunity to accelerate after the start or just before the start. That's what you want to do. And when you set up right on the line, that doesn't give you that opportunity to accelerate that 5 seconds, 7 seconds before the start to get bow out. Remember, we talked about that. We want to be bow out on the boats that are around us so that we have clear air right off the start. Now we're going to look at the windward mark rounding. This is a pretty interesting one. I'm going to turn the volume down on this because there's some commentary in there.
Left side of the course.
If I'm looking down the course, I'm at the weather mark, I'm looking back towards the starting area. These are all overstood boats on the right-hand side. The first boat that's tacked, what they think is on the ley line, is probably overstood by a bunch. The problem is, what ended up happening here is if you get any lift, you're just overstood more. But more importantly, if you get any knock, you really can't take advantage of it, right? When we get a header, we want to tack. We want to tack off with knock tacks. We want to tack onto lifted tacks.
And the reason
when you're leveraged out this far out to one side or the other, you don't have the opportunity to...
They're just below the ley line, but they can't tack. Because they tack, they go out for more.
Right.
Anybody
you
that's
can't
in
tack
this side
and go back out for more.
In the middle of the course.
Only eat that knock
actually make a pretty good gain here. He was probably 10 or 11.
These guys coming in here.
When he came out here,
this is Balin coming in here up the left-hand side on a lifted tack. He's probably going to gain 5 or 6 boats here, coming in that last 100 yards of the leg.
Transition out of the mark.
That's a great leg by Alex, by the way. He's sailing his brains out the last couple of nights. But here comes Balin, able to take advantage of that lift all the way up the leg, and was able to actually catch some boats there. He was kind of deep there for a minute. He was able to catch some boats. This is all good. One thing I'll mention here, and we'll kind of we'll circle back to it, is watch these guys that are tacking on upwind. I'm not a big fan of the lean tack, right? Crews, don't lean into a tack. I want you to butts on the rail. That's a good jibe by Ben there.
Doesn't matter. He's a lured boat. He didn't tack into that position. You were sailing that way for a long, long time. So he's still a lured boat. That rule only applies if he tacks inside the zone. Good job, Libby.
Yeah, a little bit more roll in that one is going to be the way to go there. Here we go, though. We're working on exiting these marks. What do we want to do? We want to get bow down, we want to get wing and wing, and we want to get clear air as we come around that mark, right? So those are the 3 things I want to focus on. Getting the bow down, getting downwind down to the course, getting wing and wing, sure that you're clear air behind you. Let's make sure that those boats are flat through this turn too.
I see a lot of tacking coming out here.
Good tack there by 3. A lot of tacking here late in the leg, and it's just kind of wasted motion, right?
Use that last 50
on
yards
that lay line. You get a little bit of a knock. Now you got to
come up the middle of the course,
tack back.
so you're
not able to take advantage of that shift at all,
and
that's not great. I'm gonna let this play out a little bit more. We got more upwind stuff.
Trim that jib in. Don't let it off. Trim the jib in. Don't let it off.
Always sail the boat fast through the rounding. Fast through the rounding. Don't luff the jib. Don't anticipate the bear off. Keep that jib full the whole time.
All the way out. Hold on to the tiller extension, please. And scoot forward. There you go. All right, come on now, Camden.
Good exit from Camden. Number
Attack
2.
The boats
Good
around
job.
You. Short tack the.
It's a dangerous situation, dangerous position to be in for number 9 here. Back against the grain on port.
Attacked onto port. You are in no man's land right now.
In no man's land, exactly.
All these guys are coming
15,
in on starboard.
they're just fouling the crud out of 15 right now. 24 fouled him, 9 fouled him. It's kind of a mess there. Let's make sure that we come in, set up on that lay line, come in on starboard. Try not to tack onto port. Ooh. Yeah, that was no good either. We really want to make sure that we control our boats all the way through the turn. I appreciate Barron doing a spin there. He was not the one at fault, though. Definitely not the one at fault. All right, here we go. We got another bit of downwind here. I'm watching the exit out of the mark. I want to really turn on that. I want to turn on that mark pretty quickly. And the easiest way to turn on that mark is to make sure that your sails are going out as you turn the boat. If you're turning the boat, especially in any breeze, if you're turning the boat without easing those sails out, you're not going to turn. You're going to just crank the tiller over, and it's not going to do anything. This one, these two boats are really, really close together. There's no reason for the leeward boat to suck up next to 14. Bear off, get away from each other, make it go fast. 1, if it wants to jibe, let it jibe. Figure out why it wants to jibe.
Guys, if you're on port tack, have your heads on a swivel, please.
Yeah, that's another example of not paying attention to what's going on upwind around you. I don't know what happened there, but all I know is the port tack 17 ran right into starboard tack 21, and that was bad.
Good job, Alex.
We definitely don't want to do that. Hitting boats in practice is never a good. Hitting boats anytime is never a good thing, but hitting boats in practice, definitely not a good thing. We're in a controlled environment. Definitely don't hit each other. We're going to look at some upwind sailing here in the next clip. It's a perfect example, and it was one that I mentioned last night of what I want you to do when you're coming upwind on port tack. I really want you to make sure that your heads are out of the boat and you're looking around, making sure that you're not going to run into anybody. I like how Graham's standing up, looking backwards in boat number 6. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Where's the wind coming from when we're going downwind? It's coming from behind you. If your crew is not standing up, or at least not looking backwards, telling the driver where their wind is coming from, you're not doing it right. Good job by Sammy. She's doing it as well. Looking backwards, making sure that they know where the breeze is, and making sure that they're telling their driver what's going on. All right, here we go. We're coming upwind. This is after one of the starts, and again, what I want to look at here is making sure that all these boats that are going upwind have clean air, have a good lane. This one, we're going to zoom in on Finn here in a second in boat number 3. I talked about a good roll tack. I talked about leaning roll tacks, right? I don't want to lean. I don't want my crew to lean on the boat. I want you to hop across the boat and roll tack. And we're gonna zoom in on Finn in 3 here in a second. So keep that in the back of your mind when we talk about that. The other thing that we're looking at is the boats are way leveraged, way out to the right-hand side of the course, really early in the leg. That's not a successful strategy. All right, here we go. We're going to look at Finn here. Easing the sail out, get a little bit of a puff, easing the sail out, get the boat under control, bring it back in. You see the main's constantly moving there, right? Just watching that boom go in and out, trimming the sails. Trimming the sails. Yeah, and if you can't already guess, I'm working right now. So that's what that phone is in the background. We'll let that roll to my coworkers. Here goes an attack. This is a good one. Watch Ellie. Hops to the rail. Bam! Big roll. Comes back across the flattened. Sail comes right in. That's an outstanding roll tack. Outstanding roll tack.
Oh.
Liam, on the other hand, missed the hiking strap on his roll tack and went swimming. That's okay. That happens too. Not the end of the world. 13, that was a leaner roll tack. Leaner roll tack. You don't want to lean into the tack. You want to, butts on the rail, roll the boat over. All right, here's that shot I was talking about with Preston last night. He's coming across the fleet on port tack. Watch what he's doing here. Here we go. Watch his head. Look at him. Looking below. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Anybody there? Let's take a look again. Looking below, making sure that nobody's coming across on starboard. Driving the boat, making sure it's going fast, but making sure you're not getting into a situation where you're going to end up having to hit somebody, or you're going to end up having to do a fast maneuver to get out of the way. That's outstanding seamanship going upwind in a crowd. Ooh. That one at the weather mark might not have been the right move. Look at the gap between 13 behind him and the next boat. I would have done a simple duck to get below him. You live to fight another day. Instead of rounding the mark first, you round the mark third, and you go get them on the downwind. Now you're kind of messed up. You're stuck between a fleet of boats. You're stuck between me. You're stuck between the boats below you. You owe me a spin. You're luffing. You're really not actively getting out of there. You end up doing your spin, which I appreciate, and I applaud that effort. And you ended up coming back and picking up a couple boats. But you go from fighting for first to 6th or 7th. That's a pretty big downward turn.
He's still lured, Vin.
Boom's part of the boat, Vinny. Make sure that you're not hitting the boats below you with your boom, even if you are hulls apart. Boom's still part of the boat. All right, one more start, I think, and then one more short upwind. We're about a minute till the start, I think. But again, here we are setting up on the line.
Remind me to put a new main sheet on that boat tonight.
Stopped the boat. The boat is stopped, which is fine. But then we're backwinding. Here's 30 seconds. Backwinding. We're going to backwind again. We're going to go backwards, and we just fouled in. Boats going backwards have no rights. Boats going backwards have no rights. So don't get to the point where you're backwinding and going backwards. It's not a viable option on the starting line. Set up a half boat length or a boat length below the line, around the boats that are around you. Gives you an opportunity to go bow out. 9 set up on the line. They ended up going over the line, and they were definitely over at the start.
Niner! 9!
That's a good start by 14 there at the boat. Good start by...
Keep going. Now you're in the mix. You're good.
Finn, I like what you're trying to do there.
Thank you.
I might have tacked and ducked 21 instead of tack and tack back.
Clear.
So that's the end of our video for the night. All in all, a good practice. We got to cut down on the collisions for sure, but we're getting there. We're getting into regatta mode. We're gonna kill it this weekend. We're gonna have a blast. So I will see you all at practice on Thursday. Have a great night.